Today we're out on the GOAT, the Great Ohio Adventure Trail, and this is video 2 of a 4-part series showing a small section of the GOAT. This day out ended up being one of them trips that you won't never forget, as I thought I was going to be stranded because of a fuse, as I found out. The Great Ohio Adventure Trail was developed for adventure motorcycles and overland travel to span Ohio from the Ohio River to Lake Erie. It is 1,126 miles. They broke it up into 10 sections. The average section length is 112 miles. The difficulty is beginner to immediate. Everything is pretty simple. Nothing gets too out of hand. It's a good trail for beginners, and if you're experienced in everything, it's still a good trail there with plenty to see. And if you're looking for rock hopping and the stairs and stuff like that, this is not, you're not going to find it on this trail, but you will find some a lot of good scenery and some mud and that kind of thing. The GOAT runs across Ohio from the Ohio River up to Lake Erie. The Great Ohio Adventure Trail begins at the John P. Parker House in the town of Ripley. The historical significance to Ohio, as well as the nation's history, is that it was the major stop in the Underground Railroad just over 160 years ago. The section of the trail that I was out doing today is in the Mohican State Forest, and it is section 7 on the trail. The thing that really put the adventure into this trip was when the Jeep died on me, and I found out it was a fuse. That was great, just a little incident. But then it became a major thing when I come to find out that I'd forgotten my fuses in the camper. One of the things up on the Mohican side of the trail is that there's a little homestead that's set up where you can see how Ohioans lived back then, and there's also a mill there that you can kind of look around, and they're open at times. When I was up there, they just didn't happen to be open that day. Here in the Mohican State Forest, there's a covered bridge, and then there's also a fire tower that you can climb, but at the top of the stairway, the door is locked going up into the actual fire tower house on top, and you can't quite get in, but you can look around and see quite a bit from the fire tower. This section of the trail is pretty much nothing but asphalt and gravel. Simple roads that you can do in almost any vehicle. One of the things that I like to encourage is I encourage everybody to just get out. Get out on a dirt road or a back road even, and you'd be surprised what you can find sometimes. If you want to get out and start overlanding and you don't have a Jeep or one of the vehicles that you see everybody using, you can simply just have your SUV or whatever, and you can go down and get you a tent and learn how to put it up, and there's your place to stay and start overlanding. People all over are doing trails, and If you subscribe to one of the services like Gaia or OnX, you can see the trails out there and that people have put up for other people to go and enjoy. A lot of the obstacles out there have a bypass that will easily get you around and you can continue on the trail. If they don't have a bypass, you can always look at the map and move around so that you avoid the obstacle. There's a trail in the Ozarks that there is a stream crossing that at times can be quite deep, and they have actually got it's on the map that this is a bypass, and it is quite a ways around to avoid the river crossing. What most people will do is they will go ahead and travel up to the river, then they will backtrack and around, and then go back to the river to start back on the trail. And on most of these overlanding apps, you can also add your own little, if you see something that you like or you see something that's interesting, you can put your own waypoint there, and you can even publish your maps on there. Just remember when you're out overlanding that the path is not written in stone. You can take off and go see what you want to see if you see something interesting, or you can want to explore something. And it's just one of those things that there's, you do what you want to do, and it's not the normal way to get from point A to point B. When you're laying out your route for the day, just remember to mark out several campsites, because when you get to your campsite, one might be filled up, something might be wrong and it's no longer there, or if you take longer than what you expected, you might fall short of your goal, or you might have to extend it out a little bit. And so always, when you pick your campsite, always have a backup campsite for you to go to. And with all this, if you don't have a whole weekend or an overnight, you can always just go out for the day, as I did here, because we only had one day off while I was there. The way I did this particular trip is I just kind of picked a point and I headed towards a point on the trail and figured I'd pick it up at that point and carry it as far as I could for the day, and had no real schedule other than getting on the trail and seeing what there was to see. Most of the adventure trails have some sort of GPX file that you download into the app, and once it's downloaded into the app, you can see the trail, and you can modify your trail too, so that you can add your points of interest or where it is that you want to take, where you want to go. When you're out on these adventure trails, you run across old bridges and different things. Some of them are old home sites, but some of the trail can, even though it's just a normal traveled trail, some of these bridges, they look a little sketchy sometimes. One of the things that I try to do with these videos is to show you the whole trail and not just highlight the trail. And when I show you sections, even though they are cut, the parts that I cut out mainly are the asphalt parts, unless there's something really interesting on that part with the asphalt. If you have a question about something in the video, you can leave it in the comments, and I will see if I can get an answer for you. I don't have all the answers, but if I can point you in the right direction, I'll do that. Or just, if I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm not a wealth of knowledge in some of this stuff. If you liked the video, how about giving it a thumbs up? And if you're not a subscriber, how about going ahead and subscribing to the channel, and while you're at it, hit the notification bell there. That's the way you get notified when the next video comes out. One of the nice things about these adventure trails is the fact that most of them have fuel nearby, and there's also restaurants and supplies not too far from you. And you could break off trail and go get something to eat, get fuel, get that kind of thing. But at the same time, don't forget to keep an eye on that fuel, because some of them, it can be a little ways away from a fuel stop. When I'm out, I have a 3-gallon reserve that I carry with me, and that will get me 57 miles. And that's the kind of thing that you need to know, so that if you're out and you do carry reserve like that, how far does it actually get you? You don't want to just sit back and dump fuel in there, and it takes you 5 miles down the road, and you find out that the nearest station was 10 miles. Planning some other trips. We're planning to do something in the Ozarks and do the Ozark Adventure Trail, and we're looking at some areas in Mark Twain National Forest, and those are going to be some upcoming videos. I know I said something about an Alaska trip in one of the other videos, and the Alaska trip now is on hold because of going through 3 hurricanes and the move and everything. And the way I had it planned was to go from Florida to Dead Horse, and I think I'm turning the trip around and going from Dead Horse to Florida. So that trip is kind of on the back burner and in the plans too. Another place that we're talking about going is up to the UP. Teresa wants to expose me to the UP up in Michigan, and for those of you that don't know what the UP is, it's the Upper Peninsula. And if you go on Onyx, man, there is a lot of trails up there in the UP and in northern Michigan. Getting back to the Ohio Trail here, though, it is real nice as it rolls up and down, and you drive along some of the rivers sometime, and the scenery is just amazing. When you're out on these adventure trails, just remember that these roads are where somebody drives every day, driving back to their home, and that when you go by some of these places, kind of watch out for their pets. I've noticed that a lot of times I'll get dogs that come out, and some of them are friendly, and some of them I don't know, but some of them just want to chase the vehicle, and just be respectful as you go by, and everything will be fine. Never-ending highway, endless highways of broken dreams, heartfelt goodbyes tearing the seams. We're all just travelers lost in time, endless highways chasing the ride. Your laughter in the wind, they still remain. This little section of the Ohio Adventure Trail, I run across quite a few things that I hadn't seen, and I had been up in the area before. I run across the dam that they they I guess they close it up at certain times and flood the area. And there was an old bridge that had been underwater, and just a bunch of just odd little things that I never would have seen driving the interstates and major highways. These roads that have been cut back in the side of the hill like this are just amazing. I enjoy driving them, being able to look out, and you can see so much as you drive around.
Echoes of your laughter in the wind, they still remain. Though this journey is forever, memories ease the pain. Oh, morning light won't heal me, nor the moonlight's gentle sigh.
The one thing that made this trip so much more of an adventure was the fact that the turned around and the Jeep just, I was driving down the trail and it just died. I mean, it just quit running, and when I went to try to start it, there was no fire. I mean, it just sat there and turned over and didn't try to start at all.
Of the love that said goodbye.
So I did what anybody else would do. I went and opened the hood up and started trying to find some reason why it wouldn't start. As I started checking things that I knew, it's like, okay, well, let's start with the basic. And I started checking fuses. And this is where I found out that there was a blown fuse. So when I found out that it was nothing more than a blown fuse, I thought, great, I got tons of fuses. Let me just go get one out of the back. So I go to the back of the Jeep, open the tailgate, and what do I find? I dig through the box, and there's no fuses in it. The only fuses that I could find were the large ones, not the smaller ones. Well, I'm an electrician, but I'm not an auto electrician, and the not knowing which fuses I can take out and it still run, I didn't want to pull a fuse and not have and complicate the problem. And the thing is that I'm been staying in Columbus, and a buddy of mine was up in Columbus there at the same motel that I was at, while I had some friends there that I had made. I really didn't know exactly where they lived and that kind of thing, and I wasn't good enough friends to really be calling on some of these guys and saying, hey, can you come help me? So I'm sitting there wondering, what can I do? And this person come along, and he said he didn't have one on him, but he didn't live too far, and he would bring a fuse back to me. Well, he shows back up, and he's got a fuse, and I take the fuse and put it in, and it instantly blows. And I'm thinking, oh no. Well, he only brought one fuse, but he was nice enough to run back to the house and get another one. So I'm figuring that this is my payback for all the times that I come along somebody that was broke down on the side of the road, that broke down on the trail, that kind of thing, or for all the good deeds that I've ever done. This is kind of one of my paybacks here, that I've got somebody who just happens to come along and is willing to get me a fuse.
I found your letter today.
So he shows back up, and while he was gone, I was thinking about, okay, how can I figure out what's wrong with this so that it doesn't just blow the next one? And so I start searching wires. I get a meter out and start checking to wait to see if I've got continuity across. And he shows back up. And when he gets back, I know I've got it clear, so because I had the meter out, and I stick it in, and the Jeep fires right up, no issues whatsoever. So I offered to pay for the fuse and everything. We said I told him thanks, and we took off. He didn't charge me anything, and like I said, just being a good Samaritan and helped me out of a big jam.
We danced in the kitchen light to a song on the radio. Your laughter filled up the space, made the world feel.
So now down the road I go, and not having any problems or nothing, but my adventure was not over with yet.
The love we once had was a train that missed its lift. Oh, I remember the promise that under the stars we'd stay. But now I just hold those memories as you're packing your bags away with a taste of.
So now I'm cruising on down the trail, and I'm thinking, should I go ahead and head back, or do I need to, I really want to go ahead and go on down the trail. And I decided to go on down the trail instead of heading back for the motel, which I was probably about an hour and a half away from the motel.
The smell of your perfume still lingers on my skin, and I taste the tears I cried in the silence where you've been. I remember.
So now I'm staying in a motel because I'm up here working, and not just a pleasure trip, but I'm making a day to go out and get on the adventure trail. And that's what I keep talking about, is you can always find a little time here and there to get out and do an adventure.
That under the stars we stay, but now I just hold those memories as you're packing your bags.
Anyway, as I was going down the trail, and I kind of figured the worst of it was over with. And I was still thinking about, is there a place up here where I can pick up some fuses? But instead of taking probably the proper way out, and that's going by and at least finding a place I could buy fuses. It's a Sunday, and a lot of these small towns, the places are closed.
With a whiskey in my hand, I'll reminisce endlessly and hold tight to our love story in these old photographs.
Well, as I'm going down the trail, all of a sudden, once again, the Jeep shuts off and there's nothing. Now, at least this time, I already know it's a fuse. But remember, I don't have any fuses. So my little thing about, oh, I'm good, I'll go on down the trail, now I'm stuck again.
Kicking stones down the back roads.
So I'm not worried because I know what the issue is, kind of. but at the same time, my issue is I don't have any of the fuses. So I end up looking, and I found a 25 amp fuse that went to something, I don't remember now, but I pulled it out, put it in the Jeep run. So now I'd start deciding, well, let me start heading back towards the motel.
If you listen and hold on, you get rich.
Well, if you think that would be the end of the adventure, that I would just, get it started up and head back for the motel, it had other things in store for me. I got it running, and I was off and going down. I still stayed on the trail, figuring that I was going to meet with the interstate down along the trail, and I would jump up and ride on back to the motel from there. Things never seemed to work out the way that you had planned it out, and this was no exception. I kind of figured that my problems were over with, and I could actually go down the trail. Well, the Jeep died again, and it ended up dying a couple more times before I got down to pretty much the last of 5 fuses in the Jeep. So I pulled out that last of the 25 amp fuses and put it in there, and on the last fuse there, it blew where I was just getting on the interstate to head back to the motel. Hold on, you get rich, beyond imagination. So nice, so nice, so nice, so nice, so nice. Now, before I make it back to the motel, I want to go by an Advance or someplace where I can get some more of the fuses, so that I don't have to worry about this. I've already robbed everything out of the fuse box, and if I blow another one, it's not going to work out good. When I get to the Advance, I come to find out that they closed an hour before I got there. So that was nothing, but I got to get up in the morning and drive the Jeep to work. So I made it to the motel, and I get up the next morning, make it to work. I get off work, and I go by and picked up some fuses. So now I've got plenty of fuses, and the natural thing happens is the rest of the time I had no more issues with the fuse. Now when it came time to go home, I packed up the Jeep and picked out a route that kept me off the interstates, and I drove the back roads expecting this fuse to blow. And like I said, I had no more issues all the way back with this thing blowing. If you still haven't give the video a thumbs up, how about go ahead and giving the video a thumbs up? And while you're at it, if you're not a subscriber, how about subscribing to the channel? And hit the notification bell there. That way you'll get notified when the next video comes out. I whispered a plea as the stars blinked by. God, keep her close. When you're out and you see somebody on the side of the trail, and if they look like they might need some help, it might benefit you in a roundabout way to stop and see if you can give them a hand. When the roosters cry, I'll be standing right here with a tear. And like I said, even with a lot of planning and everything, and you never know when that person on the side of the road that needs help might be you. I sure didn't think that a little fuse would knock me out the way it did.
Hear this humble song, keep her in my arms where she belongs. Through the stormy nights and the sunny days, got our hearts on love's winding ways. Day turns to night and shadows grow long. I'll keep on praying with a voice soft yet strong. God, keep her safe, let our love be true. In the silent moments, she'll know I love you. We walk through fields where the wildflowers bloom, under the moonlight in a sweet.
What I'd like to say here is just get out and have an adventure, and they don't always go like you plan them. And like I said, the ones that you have a little issue, and it's nice when they're small issues, not big issues, because big issues definitely you remember. But even the small issues, they can make it a real memorable trip.
Ever start to blow, I'll hold on tighter, won't ever let go. 'Cause I believe in this love we've grown.
If you catch us out somewhere, stop us and say hi, and just kind of, if we're out wheeling, maybe we can wheel together or something. You never know what's going on, and sometimes the friends you meet on the trail end up being longtime friends. So get out and do some adventuring somewhere.
The stormy nights and the sunny days, got our hearts on love's winding ways. Got our hearts on love's winding ways. On love's winding ways.
You get out on the back roads, and it is so much more peaceful and so much more relaxing than you don't have traffic, you don't have people cutting you off, you don't have anything going on other than you can just drive, and you got so much nice looking scenery, and out somewhere where other people aren't around can be fun at times. As you pass some of these houses, you think, man, this is so nice out here, and you kind of wonder what it would be like to have a house out here. And the people that live out here, they're looking for another place, and they a lot of times they don't really see the beauty of their home there, and they kind of think it's nice sometimes, but they just, home is home, and being out somewhere is a completely different thing, and that's what makes it so nice, being out on the trail somewhere. if you're looking for somebody to go out wheeling with, just the easiest thing probably to do is look at Facebook or some of the social media out there and find a Jeep group in your area, or another group, another off-roading group, overlanding group, that kind of thing, and see if they're having a meet somewhere, if they're meet up. And we used to call them meet and greets, and we'd get together and just kind of a bunch of people that think the same way and all, and we sit there and enjoy it. We would meet up and we would set up rides and different going camping somewhere. You meet up with people and the group may not be talking about going somewhere, but then you meet up with somebody and, hey, this weekend let's get together and we'll go explore something. And it's a great place to start if you're one of your big fears is going out by yourself. And it's always nice, if you don't have all the recovery gear and you don't have the confidence, it's definitely better to have somebody there with you. Another place to look for people is go to the different like Overland Expo and these other things that you see advertised around. Just go and take a look and see some of the stuff that's out there, and just kind of watch your wallet, because there's plenty. You get into a place like that, there is plenty of things that will like to go home for you for the right price, should we say. The whole thing is like I just keep saying it over and over and over again, is get out on an adventure and watch the videos. I'm not saying don't watch the videos. Let the videos inspire you to get out and adventure on your own. And it's a lifestyle. It's a lot of fun. I was told one time by a person that we were a special group of people. We had hiked the Grand Canyon and we were set up to have the dinner at the bottom. And at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, we went for the dinner, and that is where the guy told us that of all the people that go to the Grand Canyon, only 5% will walk over the edge. Of the 5% that walk over the edge, only 5% will make it down to the bottom. Of the 5% that make it to the bottom, only 5% of that is going to spend the night. And of the 5% that will spend the night, that's the ones that will have the meal. So, I mean, we were in a pretty, sounds like a pretty elite group when you stop to think about it. Think about all the people that go somewhere and they have a chance to have a great adventure. Something really, really special, something that they can really see something that's really nice and that most people don't get to see, and they miss it. Like the people that walk into the Grand Canyon and they never go over the edge, they don't get to experience that. And, it's just, one thing leads to another, and you can make a small adventure into a great adventure. Like I've said, the adventure trails, they go from asphalt roads to country back roads to the hard stuff. Some of them you've got stairs and you've got mud holes and that kind of thing. But the one thing is, most of the time there is a bypass on them. Some way that you can get around it, and if you don't want to take the chance, there is a way to get around it somehow. You might have to backtrack, but just get out and make an adventure for yourself and have a good time. That's always the number one rule, is when you come in at the end of a weekend, a day, a weekend, whatever it was, and you ask yourself, did you have a good time? You say, yeah, I had a good time. I got away for a while. I didn't have to worry about anything, and that job will be there. The nosy neighbor will be there, all that kind of thing. All the different the different things that go on in your life, they're all liable to still be there, but you will have made some memories, and that's one thing that doesn't matter whatever happens, nothing can take away a memory. Almost nothing, I should say. And if you made it all, it's almost to the end of the video here. And if you've watched it, how about giving it a thumbs up? And if you're not a subscriber, subscribing. That helps with the finding of the video and everything on YouTube. And it'll put it up there in front of some more people where somebody else can see it and maybe be inspired by it. And this video is the second video of this series of the Ohio Adventure Trail, and it ended up being a full day out on the trail. I ended up with just off road. I ended up with a couple, almost 3 hours worth of video, I believe it was. History out. Like I said, the dam that I run across was 1935. The homestead, that was late 1800s, I believe. I believe the mill was come in about the same time. Some of the bridges you go across, they were 30s, 40s, 50s, that kind of thing. Sometimes you don't know how old it is, but you look at it and you say, you can see when you're crossing something that's old or going by something that's old. And it's just a lot of fun to get out and see history. And here in this country, we have a lot of history. And also, let's not forget about the places to eat, because, man, some of the places that we find, they might be a little hole in the wall, kind of one of them things that some of them, you know, a lot of people will just go right on by because of the way they look. And some of the places that look like they're they're run down and just they look really really bad, are some of the best places to eat. And I mean coming up, I mean, there was a place that people thought it was nothing. It was an old boatyard, but it was one of the high class top of the line restaurants there in Tampa. Well, that's it for this part of the video. It's a 4-part series, so just try and catch the other parts, and thank you for watching. Endless highways chasing the ride. Echoes of your laughter in the wind, they still remain. Though this journey is forever,